Hello, everyone. Welcome you all to a new episode of this podcast series. In our today's episode, we have with us Tarun Sharma sir. He's a practicing advocate at the Supreme Court of India and Delhi High Court. So, thank you so much for coming to our show.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you for having me over.
Sir, how was your journey from law school to a law firm and then finally setting up your independent practice?
Amit, I believe the journey was little bit of challenges because I was a first generation lawyer, and but I was really lucky to be enrolled in the law school that I enrolled in because they gave me a platform where, and they encouraged every law student to do multiple internships. That really helped me understand the practical aspects of law, and what we were studying in college. I was able to really correspond with what was actually being practiced out of college. And we interned in a lot of law firms, many law firms actually, and in chambers. And thereafter, in fifth year, I made up my mind that litigation is my calling, and I thereafter joined a chamber. I worked in a couple of chambers before I eventually moved to a law firm. I joined Kranjawala and Company. After that, after working in Kranjawala and Company for a couple of years, I quit and I started my own practice.
सर लॉ फर्म्स में सैलरी कितनी मिलती है अगर कोई फ्रेशर ज्वाइन करता है तो?
Amit, this is a very tricky question because there's a lot of misconception in the market that law firm salaries are always high. ऐसा नहीं है. So you can say very safely that if you're a fresher, let's say, so in a tier one law firm, I think you will get, I think, around a lakh per month, and you can start reducing it by 20-30% as you keep falling down the tiers. So if you're in tier 2, you'll get little lesser. If you're in tier 3, you'll get little less, or perhaps you might even get a better salary than a traditional tier 1 firm. So it's very varied. There's no standard industry practice, none that I've heard of at least.
सर लॉ फर्म में प्रेशर कितना रहता है काम का?
और deliverables रहते हैं. So basically, you some days there's less work, but some days there are, if there's some urgent petition, urgent drafting, that's something you want to do it within 24 hours, and the clients want it to be listed as well. So you have to slog the entire 24 hours perhaps. That's definitely there. And so law firms में stakes are higher, clients are more demanding, so you have to accordingly perform more. That is there in law firms, definitely.
सर जनरली हमने सुना है कि जो मैनेजिंग पार्टनर्स होते हैं लॉ फर्म के उनकी सैलरी 50 लाख 60 लाख 1 करोड़ 2 करोड़ होती है, तो ये बात कहाँ तक सच है?
हमें तो ऐसा होने लग गया तो मजा ही आ जाएगा. पर दिस इज, आई थिंक, अ बिग मिसनोमर इन द इंडस्ट्री. लॉ फर्म्स में हर एक लॉ फर्म में देयर आर मल्टीपल टाइप्स ऑफ पार्टनर्स. सो देयर इज एन इक्विटी पार्टनर, देयर इज अ सैलरीड पार्टनर, देयर इज एन एसोसिएट पार्टनर, एंड सबकी सैलरीज डिफरेंट होती हैं. एंड लाइक आई आंसर्ड प्रीवियसली, टीयर वाइज होती है सैलरी लॉ फर्म्स में. It's not कि it's a standard cutoff कि you become a partner, you will get 2 CR. No. In some cases, yes, tier 1 law firms partners get anything upwards of 1 CR. A good equity partner ought to get more than that because they bring in business as well. But usually if you say कोई thumb rule लगाओ तो ये है कि tier 1 में you get the best salaries if you're a partner. Tier 2 में you start reducing whatever salary is the minimum, around 60-70 lakhs for a partner in tier 1. You start reducing that by 20-30% to get to the tier 2 partner salary, and therefore thereafter tier 3. Keep reducing it, basically.
सर व्हाट आर द डेजिग्नेशंस इन लॉ फर्म?
So you join typically as a fresher. You join into a setup which is basically you're an associate. Some call it as A naught, and then they have different levels in between associate to senior associate. They have A naught, A1, A2, A3. But typically it's you join in as an associate. Then you progress after minimum 5 or 3 to 5 years in some cases. You progress to a senior associate level, and from a senior associate you progress to a managing associate or a principal associate. These are same terminologies basically. And after you become a PA or a MA, you typically become a partner. But in some cases, in some firms, as per their own standard operating procedures, etc., they make you a associate partner. So that is there. These are the typical designations you see around in Indian law firms.
Sir, freshers who are first generation advocates, should they join law firms or should they start with chamber practice?
Amit, this is a very difficult question to answer, but मैं इसको अपने experience से answer करता हूँ. I think it was very necessary for me to spend first 3 to 4 years of my professional life after college in a chamber practice. The reason being, you get to go to trial court, you get to go to various courts, so you learn more on the job. And I've seen this currently. I've Because I was an SA in a big firm, I have seen that the freshers that are coming in these days, they directly come into a law firm. So उससे क्या होता है ना, they are unable to really grasp the basics of litigation in Delhi or in India, perhaps. So I would always recommend that you spend 3 years, 1 or 2 years at least, or if you can, 3 years in a chamber practice, and then join a law firm. But if you want to join it directly, then I would suggest then you have you have your task cut out for you. You have to put in more efforts because it's you'll require to understand the basics very quickly. So you'll require a lot of efforts from your end as well. So that would be how I would picture it.
सर, एआई लॉयर्स की मदद कैसे कर सकता है?
I mean, this is a very vast topic, but I think AI, basically, like her Chief Justice, how he said it, I think he put it aptly. AI is going to help lawyers, you know, concise their time. So basically, क्या होएगा कि lawyers will spend less time doing the same thing. Then and they can take the help of an AI tool, or how the AI can be integrated to save time for lawyers is how I feel the AI landscape is going towards. And for lawyers, time is money, right? So anything that saves them time, they'll hop on board very quickly. आपने देखा होगा अभी recently virtual hearings का concept is a very recent concept to Indian litigation or Indian system earlier. 2019 से पहले, 2020 pre COVID से पहले था भी नहीं. But how quickly lawyers have adapted to it, that we have started having conferences with seniors on VC. It saves everyone time. To and fro travel time बचता है. We have started having hearings in court on through VC. Supreme Court Chief Justices also are saying that VC hearings must be promoted. I have seen so many senior lawyers who are able to do multiple matters through virtual hearings. Uh, Similarly, I feel AI is going to be integrated into the system, and it's going to be a tool that saves us a lot of time. And there are many ways AI can be brought in on the system. For example, we can create a tool to summarize judgments. I believe there is one already, but I believe that's a paid tool right now. However, it seems like there are multiple tools that are being developed, and luckily the Honorable Supreme Court is promoting such development of tools.
Sir, how might AI change the way courts operate in India?
Amit, AI is already changing the way courts are operating in India. We don't feel it because it's that beautifully being integrated into the system. Abhi, very recently, Supreme Court had a hackathon event wherein they invited participants to develop codes and I think model AI tools solving two basic problems. And that is something that's very good, I believe. Number one is filing in before the registry, how to cure defects, how can we create an AI tool that helps us in doing that. Because as a litigating lawyer, we have this daily challenge to get our cases cleared from the registry without defects. So if
Yes,
we
sir.
have a tool that preempts our defects already, it saves us a lot of time. I think that's a very good step in the right direction. And the number two feature that in the hackathon was to create some sort of a chat bot between some sort of AI chatbot tool, which basically also helps you interpret the constitution, summarize judgments, summarize cases, etc. That's also an extremely useful feature, I believe. That's if we develop that, and it will save every lawyer, every law student, every researcher, a common man, a lot of time if they can easily understand in their own language, in their native language, how a section is, or how a judgment is, or what the judgment talks about, and get a quick summary about it. That's I think going to be the next thing that we'll start seeing creep in, little by little, in the very near future. We've already started seeing how AI is being used to give live transcripts, and how with the help of AI, Supreme Court has converted many judge office judgments into Hindi and other vernacular languages. So therefore, I believe that AI is going to be effectively introduced into the court and into the Indian judicial system very quickly.
सर क्या एआई लॉयर्स की जॉब खा जाएगा?
Uh, फिलहाल तो नहीं अमित, फिलहाल तो आई डोंट थिंक एआई जॉब खाने के लायक है अभी. आई बिलीव कि अभी एआई विल बी integrated well into our system, and so we'll just use it as a tool and it won't replace us. But I feel कि 10-15 साल में the way technology is being developed and the way we are looking positively at humanoid robots, I believe कि 10-15 साल में कुछ impact ज़रूर आएगा, देखने को मिलेगा हमें. पर इंडिया में वो इम्पैक्ट आना थोड़ा मुश्किल लग रहा है मेरे को, बिकॉज आवर सिस्टम और जुडिशियल सिस्टम इज इन सच अ मैनर दैट वी डोंट केटर ओनली टू लॉ, वी केटर टू इमोशंस, वी केटर टू जुगाड़, एंड देयरफॉर आई डोंट सी कि इंडिया में लॉयर्स की जॉब जाएगी. बट बाहर हो सकता है कुछ इम्पैक्ट है. स्पेशली आप देख रहे हो कि टेस्ला ने एक रोबोट लॉन्च करा है आजकल में, हाल ही में, फिलहाल में, ऑप्टिमस करके. Now that is set to do and cater to a lot of things that humans need, and there will come a time, I believe, that that can, do a lot of other tasks which can help in various places.
Sir, I have seen many of my friends, they are using AI for drafting of pleadings. आपको लगता है कि they should use it or they should use their mind while drafting?
I think, Amit, I tried to draft using AI. I did not find it that convenient because of facts वगैरह इतनी easily don't seep into that final product that we get. So we have to anyway sit on it and change the draft completely. So I feel that definitely there are some of my peer group people, peer colleagues and juniors who are using AI very well. I feel that if you're able to use it, uh, do use it, but definitely the final product that you get from it, you really need to sit on it, because in India, facts are a little complicated, and not only in India, I think in law facts are a little complicated. So those facts need to be set out very clearly in your petition or in your pleadings. So therefore, I feel that you really need to rework what the AI does. It might be counterproductive to finally just use an AI. It might be better that you just draft it from your end.
And sir, I've also seen that many of them are getting dependent on it. They are not even vetting their documents carefully.
That's a definite threat, I believe, to the system, because if you start filing pleadings which are not vetted by a lawyer, which are, you're just using it, the tool, and whatever is coming out of it, you are just filing those pleadings in court. It is very detrimental to your client, I must say so. So I think you must definitely recheck what AI does.
सर, अगर हम कोई इमेज क्रिएट करते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ एआई, तो उस पे राइट्स, आईपी राइट्स किसके होंगे?
दिस इज अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन, अमित. अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्या है, ये एक सच अ डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन भी है एट द सेम टाइम, बिकॉज कोई ऐसी लीगल जूरिस्प्रूडेंस डेवलप नहीं हुई है जो ऐसे किसी सिनेरियो को केटर करती है. एक, आई रिमेम्बर देयर सम केस प्रोबेबली इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, जहाँ पे पैटेंट ग्रांट करा गया था एआई को, बट राइट टू क्रिएट पैटेंट ग्रांट करा गया था एआई को. बट इंडिया में आई हैवंट कम अक्रॉस अ केस येट जिसमें कॉपीराइट या फिर इमेज राइट्स या आईपी राइट्स के ऊपर कुछ हो ऑन एन एआई टूल. And agar kuch, I believe if there is going to be some discussion on this and some development on this on the legal jurisprudence front, Delhi High Court is, always the pioneer in creating new frontiers for judgments concerning IP rights. So I believe we will eventually be seeing something come across.
Sir, what are the laws with respect to AI in India?
Currently, I mean, it's a little bit of a gray area. There's no law concerning AI specifically. There are multiple laws that are already in place, like your IT Act, like Data Protection Act, with the help of which we can, sort of tackle any legal challenges being faced due to particularly AI problem. But I see a law coming very close, a particular law challenge, a particular law on AI being developed very soon, because in European Union also they are proposing a specific act to cater to only challenges faced arising out of AI.
So, thank you so much for coming to our show. This was a lovely session with you.
Thank you so much, Amit. Thank you for having me over. And I believe the discussions we had are something that everybody wants to hear. And I hope this some of the answers do help your listeners.